Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you how to search records between two given dates in ASP.NET Core Razor pages. And here we got the final output. Notice the header tag search records between two given dates. Below that we have a text box controls to search the data and one href links to get all the records. Below that we have a data from the database. Now let's search the records. The starting date, I'm taking this date, the starting date. Let's copy and paste here. And the ending date also I'm adding. The starting and ending date both are same. When I click submit, see here we got the results of the selected date range. So we got 3 records of the same dates. So get all records, we'll get all the records. Now let's search the date 12/12/2019, the starting date and ending date. Submit. So here we got only one record found from the given dates, which is Kavita. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before writing the coding part in ASP.NET Core to search records between two given dates, the starting date and ending date, first we'll check the table in SQL Server Management Studio. The table name is a new employee join which contains 5 columns: employee ID, EMP name, email, gender and join date. Just for the time saving, I have created this table, and this table I have created in this EMP database. For this video tutorial, I am creating a new ASP.NET Core web application. Go to File, New, Project, and from the projects I am selecting ASP.NET Core web application. Click Next. Let's give the project name Search Data to Dates Razor Pages. Create. And I'm selecting the template web application which contains the Razor pages, and the version of ASP.NET Core I'm using 3.0. Then click Create. And the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window. Open Solution Explorer. First, in this project I'm adding a new folder called models which contains the classes. Right click the project name, add new folder. Let's give the name of the folder is the models. Now in this models folder I'm adding the class which contains only the public properties. So right click the models folder, add, I'm selecting class. The class name is join date class. Let's give this EMP join date class, the employee join date class. Click add. And here we got our class. Now in this class, first I'm adding the package called using system.componentModel.data notions. Then I'm adding the key attribute, the property, double tap. The property name is integer type, and the property name is, in our table we have 5 columns: employee ID and EMP name. In our table we have 5 columns: EMP ID, EMP name, email, gender and join date. Let's add this first column, EMP ID, prop double tap. The second data type is a string. The property name is EMP name, and the third property name also string. Email, next property contains is a gender. The gender I have added the cat type. We check in the columns. See here the gender is a cat. So we need to add the exact same data type. The cat type and gender. After that, property. The last one is a date time is a join date. After adding the properties in this class, next let's open Solution Explorer. We require the DB context class. So right click the models folder, add class. Let's give the class name is application DB context add. And here we got our application DB context class. Now in this class I want to inherit the DB context class. So to inherit we need to add the colon DB context. The DB context class belongs to the package, the Microsoft Entity Framework Core package. So first let's install that one. If you notice here, using Microsoft see in the IntelliGen's we don't have any Entity Framework Core package. So first let's install that package in our project. Before installing, let's expand these dependencies. If you notice in these dependencies there is no any packages folder. So select the project name, manage NetJet package. Switch to browse and search for Microsoft Entity Framework Core. This is the package I want to install and the version is 3.1.0. Select that one, click install, click OK. I accept the license. So notice here the DB context class. And the package is installed successfully. Now let's close this error list as well as the output box also. Now switch to application DB context class and now add the package using Microsoft. So here we got now Entity Framework Core. Now we can access the DB context. Now in this class I'm creating a constructor of this class. To create a constructor, just type CTOR, double tap. Now in this constructor I'm adding DB context options. The T context is our application DB context class. And options colon base options. After that, let's add the property for the DB set. Prop double tap. The property type is a DB set. In this DB set, the entities we are getting from the class. So our class name is the EMP join date class. So let's add that one, EMP join date class, and the property name. Here the property name is very important. We must add the table name. So our table name is new employee join. Copy that one and paste here. So after that, now open Solution Explorer. We need the connection string, the data source in this app settings.json file. So to get the data source of our SQL Server, open Server Explorer. Notice in this Server Explorer there is a data connections. Right click that one, add connection. And let's add the server name. Server name is user PC. After adding SQL Server name, now I am selecting the database name. The table I have created in this EMP database, so I have selected the EMP, then test connection is succeeded, OK. And here we got the emp.dbo is added successfully into this data connections folder. Now we require the data source of this EMP. For that, right click the emp.dbo, go to properties. Now in the properties, notice there is a connection string which contains the data source. Just copy that one and between double quotes, first let's add the connection strings, colon, curly braces, comma. My connection string name is my connection, colon. Now between these double quotes I am adding the data source which I have copied. After adding the connection string in this app settings.json file, and now the next step, in the project notice there is a startup.cs file, open that one. Now in this startup.cs file we'll add our services, the DB context services. So let's add the namespace using Microsoft dot is entity framework core. Then we require the class also. That classes we have saved in the models folder. So using my project name is search data.models folder. After adding these two packages, notice here the configure services method which contains iServices collection interface. So add the services dot add DB context. Our DB context is application DB context class. So let's add that one, application DB context. And then options dot use SQL Server. So this use SQL Server method belongs to the package. Let's open the nudget package. Here we require the Microsoft.EntityFramework.SQL Server. This is the package we require. Let's copy this one, click install. Click OK. Accept the license. And see here the package is installed successfully. And also notice we got some errors here. That errors in the startup.cs file. So for this one, so don't worry about this error. Let's close this one. The package is installed successfully. See, entity framework core SQL Server. Let's add that one here using Microsoft dot entity framework dot SQL Server. Now we get that use SQL Server method. Now in this method I'm adding configuration dot get connection string method name. In this method I am adding my connection string name. So app settings.json file, our connection string name is my connection. Copy that one and paste here. And the last, let's add the semicolon. So after adding the services and our connection string, then open Solution Explorer. Notice in the project there is a pages folder. Expand that one. In this pages folder we have the index.cshtml, which is a razor page. Open that one. So we need the class. Let's visit the page model. Right click the mouse, go to page model, and in the page model first add the packages using Microsoft.Entity Framework core, and the next package I'm adding the models folder, my project name.models folder. Then in the private read only I'm adding the interface. Let's delete this default interface. Our interface here is the application db context class, db context underscore adb, and I'm adding this application db context in the constructor. I'm deleting the underscore. Here let's add those objects. Underscore adb is equals to adb. Now after that I'm adding the public IEnumerable. In this IEnumerable I'm adding the type of objects we are getting from the class name. Our class name is emp join class. The results is a property name, get and set. Notice here the onGet method. The onGet method is to display the records on the razor view page. So here what I'm doing, the results, the property name is equals to underscore adb dot, my table name is new employee join dot toList method. That's it. That's it. It's a very simple code to display the records from the database into index view page, the razor page. Now we require the onPost method, public void onPost method. The onPost method, I'm adding the parameters, the starting date and ending date. So let's first add the data type, which is a date time, start date, comma, and the second parameter for the end date. Here I am adding the searching results. So results, the IEnumerable property name results is equals to from x in underscore adb dot, my project name is a new employee join, where in the where clause I'm adding x dot the join date. We are getting the dates from this join date column from this table new employee join is less than equals to, I'm passing the date from this parameter starting date, and x dot join date is greater than equals to end date. So the results, the starting date and ending date, the results I want to display in this x. So select x dot toList method. That's it, we have done the coding part. That's it, we have written the code, the search functionality in this onPost method. Now let's call these methods in index.cshtml. I'm deleting this default code p tag. Here the h1, I'm adding search records between two given dates, start date and end date. ASP.NET Core Razor pages. After that, I'm adding horizontal line. Here notice the class I'm deleting because it displays very large size. So after the HR, the horizontal line, I'm adding the table class is equals to, I'm adding the bootstrap class table tr table headers, and the table headers we have 5 columns in our table. The first one is the employee ID, table headers, employee name, the next column email, and gender, and the last column is a join date. Now to display the records from the database, I'm implementing for each loop at for each variable item in, I'm adding model dot. Here notice we got the results here. The results is nothing but this IEnumerable property name. So let's add that one. The results td table data at item dot. See, now we got here the properties. The first one is the emp id td at item dot, emp name td at item dot, email td at item dot, gender, and the last one td at item dot, join date. That's it. We are displaying the records, all the records in this table. Now after the horizontal line, I'm adding form tag. The method is equals to the method we are posting the data, so I'm adding the post method. Let's close this form tag and add that form tag after the table. Now inside this form tag, I'm adding the first starting date, the start date, input type is equals to date time, and the name here the name property is very important. We must pass this property name start date and end date. Let's add this column here also. Input type is equals to date time, name is equals to, the second object name is the end date. After adding the text box controls, now we require the button control to submit. The input type is equals to submit, value is equals to, the button value is a submit, is a button name. Let's add the class, bootstrap class btn success. And after the button control, I'm adding a simple href link to display all the records. ASP page, the page name is the index, that is a page name. Get all records. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. Now let's check the results on the browser. Browse with. I'm selecting the browser Google Chrome, set as default, click browse. here we got the final output. Notice the header tags search records between two given dates. Below that we have a text box controls to search the data and one href links to get all the records. Below that we have a data from the database. Now let's search the records. The starting date, I'm taking this date, the starting date, let's copy and paste here, and the ending date also I'm adding. The starting and ending date both are same. When I click submit, see here we got the results of the selected date range. So we got 3 records of the same dates. So get all records, we'll get all the records. Now let's search the date 12/12/2019, the starting date and ending date. Submit. So here we got only one record found from the given dates, which is Kavita. That's it.